to sew together your strips so you have a continuous long strand of your weft instead of little pieces. And this works really nice with clothing. You could sew them this way and then just sew right down and it opens up. However, then you're going to have that line and all of your seam is going to cause a little bulky spot. The best way to do it is to lay it this way, turn it, and sew it from corner to corner, and then you're going to end up snipping off this extra piece on this side, and then it's going to open up. And you could sew it anyway, but I find I can see that this is going to curl in when I stretch it, because you're going to stretch all your fabric when you're done sewing it together, and let it at least sit overnight, and then it won't wrinkle your rugs if you accidentally stretch it. So since I already know that's going to go that way, I always kind of picture a book. So these are going to be the pages, and this cover is going to go that way. If it was the bottom one, then it's going to go this way. And I'll show you in a moment what that will look like. It's going to hide that seam and then really hide the bulk. We got that one. So that was like a t-shirt material. This one has a little curl to it too. So now this is my bottom one. It was that way, and then I flipped this way. And I'm going to put that one on top. And again, since I know this one has a little bit of a curl that way, here's another t-shirt. And I already can tell it's going to curl this way. So we're going to put that one on top. Now, so the next piece I have, this one doesn't curl. It's just going to stretch, so it doesn't matter when it gets woven in. I might have a little rough edge there. It gives a little cute little texture. So it doesn't matter. I'm just going to throw that on there. But I want to keep this one where the curl is going to go the other way. And then now that I have them sewed together, let's see if we can do this. And I just keep chaining until I'm done. But I can get pretty close. I'm going to cut there. I go underneath this chain. I'm going to cut there so then it releases it from the chained pieces. Underneath. And I cut pretty close. The closer the better, but I don't want it to, pull apart. Alright, so this piece right here has no curl. But as you can see, it's got the stretch. So I stretch that out. And then now that I cut that, this one's going to curl. So it's going to make this other one curl in. And when I stretch it, you can see it hides that seam. And that seam is moved throughout. So when you weave, it's going to feel flat. So again, I'm going to stretch my material. Oh, that was the same. So again, so now both of them stretched. And it's a hidden seam. These two should stretch together in a hidden seam. Now this one side stretches and one doesn't. It's going to kind of hide that seam. There we go. Now I do have the trick for these longer. This was a polo. Sometimes you gotta, it looks like it's gonna roll one way, but when I do that, it's actually gonna curl the opposite way. I'm gonna fold this in half because it was 1 inch when I have a thicker material and it's a 1/2 inch. So now I just made that a 1/2 inch and I'm gonna sew it the same way. Cut it thin, and it's not going to curl in and hide it, but it's going to make that seam not so bumpy in there. Sometimes if you get a little tail sticking out, you can cut that when you're done weaving, but that should weave in just fine. And then that's how you do a 1" to a 1/2 inch. And if it was another 1/2 inch, again, I would just lay them next to each other and then sew down at the angle. Hopefully that helps everyone.